Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here today. Well, lots of things going on. First of all, I want to say that I've started a second tier in the lives for doing live streams. And it always pops up. I don't like that. I have too many things open. Okay. It never fails. Anytime I start this live stream, I get little notices. Do you want to do this? No. Okay. So as I was saying, there are two levels to doing members only live streams. And that's starting now. So this lesson is once a month. It's a half-hour lesson and it's free. So it kind of gives you an idea of what things we'll be doing in the live streams for members only, and it gives you a little taste. But it's your chance to come in and ask me questions about English and find out more about what I do, me as a teacher, basically. So let me talk about the different levels. And I'm doing this now because I don't want to forget. I get to talking, and when I start talking, I forget what I want to say, even though I have it written down. I'll close out the classroom and go, oh shoot, I should have talked about this. And I want to do this because I think this is really important. Oh, it's important to me, and I hope it's important to you. The first level is for explorers. And with that, you get the members only live chats. I don't know, are emojis and badges important? But you have those as well. You get one live stream per month, and it's an hour long or more. It depends on the topic and class participation. So we start out with an hour, and sometimes it goes a little more, but that would depend on you. The second level, the first level is explorers. The second level is called trailblazers. Now you'll get two live streams, plus the Explorer live stream, plus this free one. So you'll have 4 classes every month. 3 members only, because you'll get the Explorers as well. There are members only shorts. You'll have early access to any videos that I release, and you'll get all the notes that I give in class, so you don't have to write anything down. You can write things down, but you'll have the notes as well. You can go to English Fun Zone. There's a members only page, and that's for explorers and for trailblazers. So you'll have the notes. And I invite you to come and give it a try. The explorers it's about $3. It's about 3, a little less than 3, or 29 crowns, and 99 crowns for the trailblazers, and that's $10 less than 10. It depends on the exchange rate. So 29 crowns and 99 crowns. Don't you just hate that? You're like, just say 100, right? Just say 30. Ooh, a whole crown. Okay. So what's the lesson today? Last class, in our last class, I gave you these vocabulary words. And you'll see the screen in 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go. 1. Oh, it's slow today. There we go. Okay. These are the words I gave you in our last class. and I asked you to guess what the topic was, right? And I don't know if any of you guessed. Maybe did any of you guess it? Okay, so we're going to be talking about cars today. If you saw the thumbnail, you probably said, "Oh, it's on cars." You're right. So today's lesson is on cars, and um, you're going to learn some phrases, how to talk about your car, how to ask questions about your car. Okay. I also have the chat open now. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be checking the chat box, which is over there, because my lesson is here and I'm focused on you. But if you have a question, I'm going to be checking over here as well. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm not distracted. I'm checking the screen. Okay. So we had shift, rely, hybrid, manual, automatic, selector, accelerator, center of gravity, and maintenance. And I kind of put those words in random order because, or it's sort of random words, not in order, but random words to try and make you think, what could the topic be? That worked? Did you get excited? You said, yay. Sally, my dog. Okay, so the first one is shift. So if you're in a car, you have Sally Mae. If you if you have an automatic, you have a shift, right? You have a gear shift. You can shift if you don't have a manual. This would be a manual. If you have an automatic, you have that. You shift the gears, right? So you shift first gear, second gear. If you have an automatic, you have reverse, drive, D for drive, right? So you have that gear shift. You're shifting the gears. You're changing the action of the car. You know, my dogs were very quiet in the beginning. Before all of this started, everything was nice and quiet. But now, so you're going to be hearing some background noise because I'm doing this live. So, sorry. My dog is 15 years old and he's coughing and acting like an old dog. And my other dog is 9 years old and she's scratching the pillow. She loves scratching her pillow. I don't know why. I don't know why. Weird. Okay, so that's shift, gear shift, changing the gears, shifting. Rely. What does that have to do with cars? Why did I write the word rely? Well, you rely on a car to get around to different places. I don't rely on a car. I don't have a car. I can drive, but I don't have a car. I ride my bike everywhere. So you can rely on your car. You can rely on your friend to pick you up, right, in their car. So that's why I put the word rely here, because if you have a car, you need to be able to rely on it to start up, to get you to where you need to go. Hybrid, right? It's like the next level. Talk about a hybrid car. You're talking about a car that can be electric, right? Next level. Do you have an electric car? We have an outlet here to plug in an electric car if we were to buy one, but I'm not going to do that. But we have an outlet here that you can plug in and plug in your hybrid car. If you have an electric car and you've driven a gasoline car or petrol, which one do you think drives better? Which one do you think feels better? I talked to somebody a long time ago that said they prefer a, a gas vehicle because it has more power, more feel, like there's more feel to it. There's more, I guess the engine rumbling has more feel to it. And I mean, the electric car is environmentally friendly and right, we have all that, but how does it feel when you drive it? I've never driven an electric car. And I've always been curious, how do they feel? How do they handle, right? Is it smooth? I know they're quiet because we have several that drive past here, and you can definitely hear the difference. But there's a what, like a whistle, like a like a high squeal when they go by. I can hear it, but I don't know if I would hear that inside the car. Just curious. Okay, manual and automatic. And a manual is when you have to shift it first gear, second gear, gear, not degree, gear, bad teacher. So you do that manually, you do it by yourself. Automatic is when you just put it in gear. But some people have this. My car used to do this. I had a car, but now I see people have gear shifts that you can do here, not the wheelbase. Okay, so manual, you do it by yourself. Automatic, the car does it. Selector. Selector, you choose, the different buttons, right? You select something, a selector. I don't, because there are different buttons for different things. I know that I haven't driven a car in a long time, and we're talking. I'm talking a new, like a new car with all the different features and things. I My friend and I, we rented a car when we were in Poland, and she drove most of the time. I drove maybe once or twice. Um, and it beeped at me. When I went to back up, it'd go beep, beep. I'm like, shut up. I hated that. I hated that. And they had different buttons you could select to do different things. So there was a selector, you could do GPS, you could do all these fancy things. And at the time, it wasn't as complex as they are now. I've seen the newer models, newer cars, and oh my gosh, so many things to select, to choose from. Accelerator, so you can go. We'll talk about that later. And center of gravity, that's really important in a car, right? You have to find the center. I can't find the center of gravity. So if we do, can I do it with this pencil? I got the fan on. There we go. Center of gravity. Yay, I found it. So that's the center of gravity. You want your car to have center of gravity so that when you're turning your when you're turning your steering wheel, it's going to turn right, it's going to turn left. You want to stay straight on the road, right? If you don't have that center of gravity, your car will do this. So the car's wheels have to be centered. So you have to find the center of gravity. Maintenance is very important if you have a car. So we're going to be talking more about maintenance in our lesson today. All right, so who do we have here joining us today? Well, hello. Is that a question? No. Okay. Hello, welcome. Glad you're here. Okay, so think about what are some things you need to check on your car. Pause the video if you need to. Write down your answers. What are some things you need to check on your car? Okay. So when you need to get things checked on your car, you need a mechanic. Mechanic. That CH makes a k, k sound like K. Mechanic. We need to check the tires. Tune up. Great word here. Tune up. This is when you take your car in and they do a tune up. They check brakes and they check your oil and they make sure things are running smoothly. It's a tune up. They might put fresh oil in, they might put in windshield fluid into so you can clean your windshield. So it's a tune-up. Rotate the tires, right? Front to back to front, right? Front to back to front. So they wear evenly. If you don't do that, the front tires with the power in the front, they wear faster than the ones in the back because they're doing all the turning and back to front, front to back. Check your oil. So important. Check your oil. There is a dipstick. Oh, love that word. That is, if you lift up the hood of the car and to check your oil, there's a dipstick that you pull out. There's lines on the dipstick. And it will tell you how much oil you have. So check your oil. If you don't, your engine will seize up, which means it will stop working. Seize up. Not good. Flat tires are never fun, right? If they go flat, you have to change them. I know how to change a tire. Not too many people do. We have AAA now. We have these services that come to you and do all of that. Air conditioning. My first car that I had did not have air conditioning. You had to roll down your window if you got hot. It had heat, but didn't have air conditioning. Window fluid, right? Windshield wiper fluid. So window fluid, windshield wiper fluid. Brake fluid. That's important too. That also has a dipstick. Then we have engine. That's the main part of the vehicle that gets you going. If you don't have an engine, the car won't go. So engine leaking. If anything's leaking, that's not good. So you might have your gas might be leaking. You might have a crack in the hose. You might have oil that's leaking. That's the most common problem. Cars leak oil. Making a noise, right? Sometimes you might hear a noise. I mentioned earlier that beep, I hear that noise when an electric car passes by. It's not loud. It's not loud, and I have to be outside near it to hear it. And it's just kind of a little squeak, like ee. That's a noise that it makes. Other than that, it's quiet. It's a quiet vehicle. A slow leak, right? So you could have it's leaking, it's a slow leak, it's not leaking fast. Leaks are bad though. Window wipers or window wiper blades. So you can say window wiper blades or window wipers. Those are the things that are right. Those are important too. Steering wheel, right? And headlights. These here are the headlights. But what are the backlights called? If those are called headlights, what are the ones in the back when you brake? Now, if you said tail lights, you're right. Those are called tail lights. Okay, so here are some useful vocabulary to when you're asking for help, right? So here are some examples. You're hearing a strange sound coming from your engine, right? So you might say, I am hearing a strange sound coming from my engine. Now we could say, do you think I need? Can you please check? Which one should we use here? If you said, can you please check the engine? Right? It's the engine. Maybe the squeak is in the back where the trunk is. You might say, could you check the trunk? Could you please check the trunk? It's making a Strange noise. A strange noise, a strange sound. Check your car is leaking oil. What should we check? Your car is leaking oil. My car is leaking oil. Do you think I need? Can you please? Can you please check? Right. So if I say, my car is leaking oil, I might say, can you please check what the problem is? Can you please check why it's doing that? Why is it doing that? Right? Can you please check why it's doing that? Okay, next one. Now I kind of gave you a hint on this one. Your car is not driving straight. Which question? Do you think I need? Can you please check? If you said, can you please check to see the alignment? Can you please check the alignment, right? You're looking for that center of gravity. You could say, could you check the center of gravity? But we would say alignment, right? Could you please check the alignment? Okay. Your car is acting strange. It's acting funny. It's doing something that it normally doesn't do, that you're not expecting it to do. You would say, my car is acting strange. Of course, the mechanic will probably ask you more questions. Like, what seems to be the problem? Right? What seems to be the problem? And then you would describe the problem, right? It's making a strange sound. It's turning to the right. It's turning to the left. I can't turn my steering wheel. You would explain. So you could say it's acting strange or acting funny. And what question would you ask? Yeah. You could say, do you think I need new tires? It depends on what's the problem with the car. If you say it's acting strange, well, what's wrong, right? It's too vague. It's not specific enough. I need more information. You keep getting flat tires. You keep getting flat tires. What question? Yeah. Do you think I need new tires? Can you please check why I keep getting flat tires? The mechanic might say, well, quit rolling over nails. Quit driving over nails. Can you think of any more problems you might have with a car? When I had a van a long time ago that burned oil, and when I was driving around town, everybody knew me because I was a pet sitter. I would take care of people's pets, and the car was burning oil, so it was a lot of smoke. And people all the time told me, you need to have that fixed. You're ruining the ozone layer. You're destroying the environment. So my car or my van was burning oil, right? So I had to get a new muffler basically, and check something with I don't know what it's called. They fixed the oil, the hose. I know I'm not a mechanic, so they fixed whatever was broken. I know that I bought a new muffler for it. Maybe that's what fixed the problem. What about you? Are you good with cars? Okay. So how often should you get your oil changed? Do you change your oil often? This would be a conversational question I would ask my students. Now, if you've never had a car, you might not know the answer, right? Or you might not care. But if you're buying a car, you might ask this question: how often should I get an oil change? Right. And do you think mechanics try to cheat women more than men when they have their car fixed? Oh, that's a good question. I think so. I know because I have blonde hair. And when I was younger, guys would just automatically assume that I was stupid. And so yeah, and I didn't always catch it either about not being stupid, but them cheating me. I went to buy a car and I thought, well, that's a pretty good deal, right? I went and bought this van and I thought, well, I got a good deal. But my neighbor paid less and got more things on their van. They had a sunroof, they had automatic doors. I didn't have any of that, and they paid less. And the van was exactly the same as mine, exactly the same. And I don't know how they got all of those extras from the same dealership and paid less for their van. Brand new, wasn't secondhand. It was brand new, like mine, brand new. They liked my van so much they went and bought one themselves. But when we talked about all the extras and how much they paid, I was really mad because why did this person, why did he get a better deal? So if you were asking me, I would say yes. And that would be my example. What about you? What do you think? What should you do if you hear a loud noise if you're on the highway? Okay, this is with any vehicle. I mean, even if you have a motorcycle, what do? You take your foot off the accelerator, off the gas pedal, and you pull over to the side of the road and stop the car, right? And put on your hazards. Don't forget to put on those blinkers, those hazards. That's what you do. Okay, so those are some things about a car. Um, I've put here a little quiz for you. How many of these words do you know? We've talked about some of these things already. We've talked about headlights. They didn't even put brake lights in there. Well, now you know brake lights, lights in the back. But here's your homework. See if you can fill in the blanks, match those up. Tell me about your car. Do you have a car? Is it expensive to have a car in your country? It is here. You have to pay for taxes. You have to pay for checkups to make sure that you're not, pumping out. When you drive your car, you have muffler, right? I mentioned the word muffler to keep the emissions, the gas emissions down so you don't ruin the environment. So you have to check that, right? Uh, then there's the cost of gas and tires and everything else. So that's why I don't have a car. It's just too much upkeep. And because I live in Europe, we have buses and trains and it's fine. We've got great public transportation. But when I lived in the US, I needed a car because we didn't have great public transportation. We had a bus, but it served more like a taxi because you would have to call the bus company and say what time you wanted to be picked up and what time you wanted to, to be picked up to go and time to come back. And that just seemed very inconvenient. And we didn't have a subway, we didn't have any trains in my city. So I needed a car. But living in Europe, I don't need a car. It's just one expense I don't need. Let me know. Do you have a car? Is it expensive to have a car? What about gas prices? They're ridiculous here. When I came here, it was six crowns per liter. And now it's last time I checked, it was like 12 crowns per liter. So like double went up, as it would, and in any country, gas prices go up. In the States, it's really crazy. I don't know. What about in your country? Gas prices? Are they are they high? Do you have high gas prices there? Okay, my students. Now, don't forget, if you want more classes on Sundays and you want more information, let me know by joining the Trailblazers or the Explorers and come see me every Sunday. So in the meantime, keep practicing, and I hope to see you next class. Now, the next free one, if you're looking for the next free one, I can tell you it will be on 26. Yeah, right, 26. So October 26th, 12 o'clock, Central European time, same place, same channel. If you have a topic you want to discuss or talk about, let me know, and I'll make a lesson for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, please keep practicing. Bye-bye.